Today I am talking about my Amish family and sharing some memories. I have done many videos about the Amish, and a lot of them are more about the more negative side of the Amish because that is why I left the Amish, because of their religious beliefs. But today it's going to be a little different. I have a lot of good memories growing up in the Amish, especially with my brothers. My parents had only one daughter, me, and 4 boys. So growing up, I was always teased a lot because I had all brothers, and I am the middle child. I have 2 older brothers that are now married and 2 younger brothers that are still in Rumspringa. My parents had a great relationship with each other. When my dad came home from work, then my mom would go out into the entryway and greet him. My parents would sometimes kiss in front of us, which not all Amish parents do that. I have never ever seen my parents scream at each other or hit each other or anything like that. They were always very kind to each other. My parents got married in their lower 20s. My dad was working on a construction crew for a very long time, and then when I was a little girl, he bought a business, and we had to start the business from the ground up. It was a hardware business. I have so many wonderful memories working in that business with my family. My dad was a very smart business owner, and he taught me so much while I was working there at the hardware. When I was Amish, working at the hardware was my favorite job. My dad has a great sense of humor. He loves to joke around, and even at home sometimes, he would act so silly. He would dance around and sing songs that he used to listen to in his Rumspringa. Everyone in our community thought very highly of my dad, and they don't own the business anymore. My dad sold it a couple years ago, a couple years before I left the Amish. My mom is a wonderful cook, and she always took such great care of her family. My mom is very helpful to everyone around her. Whenever someone needs a little help, she would gladly lend a hand to help out. My mom loves gardening, she loves flowers, and her favorite color is green. She always had a green kitchen with ivy leaves decor. I remember growing up, when we were walking to church, I always thought my mom looked so beautiful in her church clothes. The church clothes looked very different than the everyday clothes. My mom is shorter than I am, and she does not look as old as her age. All of my brothers loved to tease me, and they were all very protective of me. Before I was in Rumspringa, I was very close to my 2 older brothers, and then after that, my 2 older brothers got girlfriends, and I became very close with my 2 younger brothers. I learned so much growing up with all boys that my friends used to come to me for suggestions and whatever else about boys. I can definitely say for a fact that I understand boys better than girls, and it has to be because I grew up with all boys and no sisters. My oldest brother is more serious, kind of like my mom. When he got older in his Rumspringa, he would always talk to me about this one girl that he really liked, and he ended up marrying this girl. It's the only girl he ever dated. So they got married, and they actually have 2 little girls now. He liked this girl for many years, and he did not ask her out until he felt that it was time, and then they dated for probably 2 or 3 years before they got married. My second oldest brother was the one that I was the closest to when I was growing up, and he was always the most protective of me. He and I are the most alike out of all my brothers. He is now married as well, and just recently they had a little son. His wife was my best friend first, and I met her first before he even met her. Something I love about him is that he doesn't talk too much. He just says what is important to say. All of his life, he has been teased about being so skinny, and he was my best friend growing up. So my oldest and next oldest brother are 2 years and 4 months apart, and I am 2 years and 4 months apart from my older brother as well. The second oldest brother and the second youngest brother were both like the comedians of the family. The one who was just younger than I was always considered the comedian in my family, like my dad and mom's side of the family. And he was also the one who was bullied the most. He was a little more overweight, and he struggled with some stuff such as foot problems. And because of that, it has prevented him from like playing sports. So he's not really into sports, whereas the rest of my 3 brothers love playing sports. My younger brother had to have already 3 surgeries on his foot, so he has had to go through so much dealing with so much pain in his foot, and on top of him being bullied the most as well. But he is so funny, and when we were younger, him and I did not really get along. But when I left the Amish, he was the closest to me out of all my brothers. And as an adult, we both get along very well. Me and him would talk for hours, and he is one that loves to talk. My youngest brother, the baby of our family, we always said that he got the cuteness out of all our family. He is more like myself and like my second oldest brother. He loves to try new things like I do. He is so funny and he's smart. Me and him have so much in common, and sometimes we would laugh hysterically together. That is some of my favorite memories of growing up with him. One memory I have of me and my youngest brother, I went shopping with my friends and I bought a pumpkin-scented candle. And I told him to come up to my room and smell this candle that I bought. It smells so good that you literally have to roll on the floor because it smells so good. So he came upstairs and he smelled it and he was like, "Oh, this smells so amazing!" And we literally rolled on the floor. And he was just doing it out of a joke. He was still very young, but we laughed hysterically. And the rest of my family was like, "Oh my goodness, they are so weird." Growing up, my brothers and I would go back in our woods and we would build like a teepee made out of sticks. And I would be the cook. I would get some mud and make mud patties, pretend it was hamburgers. And my brothers actually built like a 2-foot pond back in the woods by our teepee. And one time my dad went hunting and he had big boots on and he happened to step into the 2-foot pond that my brothers made. And he had to come back and change his boots because he was all wet and he was not happy. But my brothers thought that was the funniest thing on earth. I have many memories of my family playing games together. In the wintertime, it would be in the house, like board games and card games. In the summertime, it would be like outside games. And we also had a hill behind our barn on our property where we would go sled riding. So there was always people coming to our house in the wintertime to go sled riding, and we had many memories on that hill. My parents built a brand new house when I was like 15 years old. So then we moved about a mile away from our old house, but it was still in the same church district. Our family business, the company we bought from, would have a convention center 3 times a year. We wouldn't always go to all 3 of them, but usually it was either in Nashville, Tennessee, or in the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee. So one year, my whole family went on vacation to the Smoky Mountains. It was on the week that the convention center was. Convention center was only on the weekend, and we went from Monday to Saturday. So on the rest of the days that was not the convention center, we went exploring in Gatlinburg, and we had so much fun. And I also have a little photo of us when we were there. There was another family with us. I remember in the summertime, my dad would help us to put up the tent in the backyard, and we would take our blankets and sleeping bags out there, and my brothers and I would sleep in there throughout the night. No family is ever perfect, but we definitely had a lot of good memories growing up. I had a wonderful family, and I wouldn't ask for a better family. They have shunned me since I have left the Amish, and so we will always be praying for them to come around and speak with us again and just accept me and my husband for who we are. I don't miss the Amish life at all, but I do miss my family.